Captain, what's up? Chaos, what's going on? We're playing against some elves. Not a lot of super scary stuff. That's good. I think I just have to take the symbiote and then save Force of Will for Natural Order. Yeah, we're getting like all professional up in here. It's crazy. This matchup is kind of tough game one, and then post board is mostly about Night of Souls Betrayal. Basically, just have to keep them contained. You know, don't let them draw a bunch of cards with Elvish Visionary, and you know, make them discard their powerful cards like Natural Order and Glimpse, or Force Will. That also works. Thankfully, our opponent's hand is pretty threat light. Just has a bunch of 1-mana 1/1s. Morph incoming? Yeah, that's right. Well, they don't do the ads for, they don't tailor them for my stream apparently. Brad's friend? Jeez. Is that all I am? Yeah, Reanimator's sweet. I'll probably have to play with Reanimator at some point. So we have a bunch of these Death Rites, but not a lot to do with them. Our opponent's not really helping us out. No fetches, not really putting cards in the yard. Yeah, so what normally happens in this matchup is the ground gets clogged down a lot, or bogged down. Uh-oh, this is not good. This is not good. Yeah, the board gets bogged down a lot, so things like Tarmogoyf are not very good. So I generally side those out. Morning. Things are good. It is early, though. Early for me, at least. I'm just going to do a quick stream of the daily events. Maybe I'll do a little bit of stuff after, like, a couple of heads-up cues or something. But after that, we got to get to work. So how lethal is this Natural Order? And I probably should have exiled a creature there. Yeah, because now I'm just missing out on 2 life. That might actually be sort of important. Just a Birchlaw Ranger. Jeskai good. I liked the list that Kevin Jones played in the last Legacy Open. The Nahiri looked really good. And Speedy, that is very nice. I appreciate that. I do what I can. But now we dead. Yule. What's up, Yule? So 24 minus 6, 7, 8 is 16. So if we had gained an extra 2 life, we would have not been dead, but I think we'd still be drawing dead. So opponent drew a threat before we could draw some stuff. Yeah, I don't have my DCI thing figured out either. Thankfully, I never cash Grand Prix, so it doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, you're right. I could have exiled with the other death right. I'm out of the league. I am out. They're in the top 3 now. I did not make it. Yeah, Speedy, they're always the VODs. I know it's not the same. Yeah, I want these in the eyes to do something too. Unfortunately, these could be Trinispheres, which might actually be good here. So if we cut the Strixes, we only have like 17 blue cards, which is low but doable. Top 3 is Owen, Raptor, and Tom Ross. Yeah, Danny, I hate making phone calls. I believe that it's pretty easy. Just talking on the phone to strangers kind of freaks me out. So this is pretty good for a normal hand. I don't think this is good in this matchup, though. It's okay. Oh, I played a bunch of different stuff for Standard. Yeah, lands is great. I definitely like lands. Just gotta find a way to beat miracles. Standard, I'm mostly trying a bunch of stuff. Abzan is probably the best deck. It's probably what I would play in a tournament, but pretty excited for Origins. Should shake things up, hopefully. So what I want to do is suspend Ancestral turn 1, and then maybe my removal can buy me enough time for it to come off, and then I can find something like Night of Soul's Betrayal or Toxic Deluge. But if I use the Delta on turn 1 to suspend Ancestral, I basically have to get another Underground Sea, which means my Shardless and Decay are pretty dead. So alternatively, I can play Tar Pit, get a Bayou, and then do both of these on turn 2. I think the Ancestral might be too slow, though, but it should be okay. Smokestack is nice. Yeah, I mean, in theory this deck can, but I don't think the Delve cards are free rolls. I think there's a significant cost of playing those cards when you have Deathrite and Tarmogoyf in your deck. Him helps a lot. I guess, you know, most of my cards should be pretty good at this point. Seeing as how we are post-board. Yeah, I just saw that Time Twister. It's pretty interesting. Probably not a standard card, but could potentially do some messed up stuff in Modern. Alright, how greedy do we want to be? Do we want to try and brainstorm to hit a land? Alternatively, we can cast him or Decay. Decaying Aquarian Ranger is not really the target we want, but as long as we make his Cradle pretty bad and make the natural orders pretty scary, it's not the worst. I think I just want to cast him, though. But if I want to cast him and I cast Brainstorm, I don't have a ton of live draws for lands that cast him, so I think we're just supposed to him. Well, we got a Symbiote and the Forest that our opponent picked up, so good play on their end. Always the most greed. Alright, Zenith is cool. No land, hopefully. Could use a Force Will. I would feel much better about our situation here if we had a Force. Alright, now I think we have to Brainstorm, because if we just cast Decay, we might not be able to cast a 3-drop next turn. That's really what we need to do. So, yeah. And now we just brick, so we are pretty screwed. Alright, so our opponent is going to Glimpse, it looks like. He's picking up a Aquarian Ranger. Our Ancestral still has 2 turns before it comes in. I remember back in the day when I was winning a decent amount and Brainstorm had never failed me in that spot. It's kind of it's like the difference between like always keeping 2-landers on the draw and always getting there immediately versus like keeping those 2-landers and just never getting there, or casting Brainstorm and never getting there. Like those are the small differences. So yeah, I do remember Brainstorm is this thing that just never failed me, but here we are. Thankfully, my opponent's Glimpse turn was not that impressive. And now I think we have to run back the same play because we have Ancestral coming off next turn, and I actually want more land in play. So I think we just have to fire this off again, dig 2 cards deeper. And, Brainstorm never fails, right? Yeah, there we go. Now we got some action. So Liliana's probably not doing much. So we can basically do the same thing we did before, which is cast him. Our opponent can pick up both a Forest and Aquarian Ranger if they're trying to set up for another Glimpse turn. I think we just him again and then try and draw a sweeper off our Ancestral. Yeah, I mean, the symbiote is... Like, killing the symbiote doesn't really do anything, I don't think. Like, it makes him go down a mana, but overall that's not really a big deal. Like, the symbiote's not really doing anything. I think I need to hit, like, the Natural Order or... Glimpse or Zenith or whatever my opponent's building up to. Yeah, puppy, there are people outside. And they're making noise, how dare they? Yeah, okay, so now if we draw Knight of Souls Betrayal or Deluge, we should be in pretty good shape. There's the Deluge. Any Force of Wills? No, there's Knight of Souls Betrayal, though. So we're definitely deluging this turn, then what are we doing next turn? Probably casting Knight of Souls Betrayal and, like, Brainstorm fetching again. So all of our cards are good, so which is the worst one? Could see arguments for Shardless or Liliana. I think Liliana does something different, so we can just shuffle in an agent. Alternatively, we could just play Trop and redraw the Shardless, but I think we're kind of looking for specific stuff at this point. I probably should have kept a fetch land. That was silly. Yeah, Jack, we did it. We got him. But they only let me do 2. Apparently I need 25 subs until I can do more, which I did not know. Oh, nice 1-mana 1/1s you have there. Oh, and I get to waste your Cradle? That's great. Well, somehow ended up winning this game. There's no need to waste the Cradle now because you can't get mana off it anyway, so. Now we can waste it. They look good though, yeah. I think I have 15. 15 out of the 25. Yeah, the elves did not come together. Which is good, though. We needed that. We needed them to stumble a little bit. And then, yeah, basically stuff like this happens, and then we just kill them very leisurely. Yeah, what the bot said. Thank you. Oh, we're just going off now. Y'all are great. Oh, it'll happen. I appreciate it. You gotta start that chain somewhere, you know? Before, when I didn't have enough sideboard cards, I would bring in the Needle. So I can name their symbiotes, but I think I have enough stuff. There's nothing I really want to cut. I could see cutting a Jace, maybe. One of the Planeswalkers. The Planeswalkers are not great, but it's a much easier way to win the game than with Tarmogoyf. What's the metagame gonna be like in Lille? Like, I haven't followed too much European Legacy coverage, but generally, like, Shardless is not very good over there. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could Dark Petition for Doomsday, but there's probably easier ways to find Doomsday that don't cost 5 mana, right? Yes, we're just going off. There's no European Legacy? What does that mean? Yeah, I'll bring in a Needle. I'll cut a Liliana. Oh, we have a Deluge, so we're in. Yeah, I mean, I guess Shardless is good against Miracles, and you can make it good against D&T and Storm. So maybe it's a fine choice. I just felt like there was way too much combo. There were a decent amount of Blood Moons when I went there. It was either Strasbourg or Verona. I don't remember which one. Maybe it was Verona. You're a little late, Deathrite Shaman. What's your excuse? A lot of good TV shows. I mostly watch bad TV shows. Miracles might have better matchups than Jeskai Stoneblade, but it's much harder to play. Pretty glad I added a second Deluge. It was worth the 20-some tickets. Now we just need a black source. It's going well, Andrea. How are you? We're in game 3 against Elves. Pretty exciting stuff. I think we just, well, so we could Shardless this turn. Or play Deathrite and have a guaranteed 4 mana next turn. So what can we cascade into? Hymn, Decay, Deathrite, Thoughtseize, Brainstorm, Ancestral. Those are all pretty good. And Disfigure. Yeah, all those are great. We should probably just cascade. Like, worst case scenario, we hit a Brainstorm, but even that has a lot of applications. Because we could just hit our 4th land, or we could hit, like, land Thoughtseize. So. I don't think this is greedy. This is just like playing the numbers, I think. Brainstorm is probably the worst card we could hit, and that's still pretty good. Like, if we just play Deathrite, the worst case scenario is our opponent gets Dryad Arbor and then Natural Orders, and then we have to deal with a 5/5. But I guess we have Jace, so probably not the biggest deal. So yeah, maybe Deathrite was better. But I feel like I can't lose from this spot. Maybe our opponent can kill us with Glimpse. Quotes taken out of context. Alright, now are we in the same spot we were in last turn? Clearly, we would like to play a Knight of Souls Betrayal. But we could also just Shardless. We're drawing these crappy Planeswalkers, too, which is not great. They have Decay sometimes. They're scared of Cage after board. I don't think Craterhoof is lethal, so I think we can attack. See, and there's the EF of casting Shardless Agent, the expected fun. Oh dear. That's not canon. Andrea, they're better than Tarmogoyf. That's about it. See if our opponent exiles. Otherwise, we'll just keep this Decay mana open. Now we'll just keep our little duders back, because that's about the only way we can lose. Like Creature, Cradle, Natural Order. Yeah, it's still 16, so we'd have to block with both. Or Decay something, but I really need to Decay this choke. Yeah, good thing I fetched that Bayou. Otherwise, we'd be in a lot of trouble. And now we should be good. They basically can't attack, though. Just because, like, you have all these dorks, they can never deal you 20 with just also little dorks, and if you've killed all their stuff, like you've cast Deluge twice, or you played Knight of Souls Betrayal or something, then it doesn't matter if you have a Tarmogoyf or not. Like, you can kill them however you want, because they're basically locked out. So I think Jace is certainly better because it's a blue card, and Liliana on the play is actually really good too, if you have a Deathrite. So, I don't know, I mean, I think it's close-ish. Maybe I should have attacked first, but I don't think our opponent would block. Is he gonna Reclamation Sage me? Grossing Grip. Jeez. Can't force that. Yeah, I haven't gotten Progenitist ever. Yeah, I guess my first fetch, I think, was an Underground Sea. It definitely should have been a Bayou. We don't have to chase. We can just kill him with Death Rights. Basically, something that affects the board is much better in this matchup than a random giant creature. Ooh, the worm, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Goif is not a big deal at all. Any blue card is better. Legacy is great. Only waiting on one match. Waiting on 0 matches. Perfect. And my opponent's trying to talk to me, but unfortunately I can't. So, like, it won't open their message. Yeah, I don't know. Moto, etc. I might have time to play a couple matches of Modern at the end. Interested in Kiki Cord or Starfield of Nyx looks really sweet. I don't know how good it is, but it seems quite good. Get your Eidolon on. For standard, at least. Not sure what you can do with it in Modern. It's almost certainly too slow for Modern, but maybe it's good in like the Enduring Ideal deck that may or may not have Enduring Ideal. Cromps, if you think you can play the deck well, then I think you should pick up that deck, but that's up to you. You would know better than I would. We talked about the Time Twister a little bit. My thoughts are basically probably not a card in Standard, might be a card in Modern. And then Modern enchantments. There's like a Suppression Field, Ruined Halo, Leyline of Sanctity, Ghostly Prison, like mono white or splash red for Blood Moon. Maybe has Enduring Ideal deck, but yeah. My sideboard blue enchantment is In the Eye of Chaos. Well, if I was ever going to mulligan a hand like this, I probably shouldn't be playing this deck. So suspend Ancestral, get Wastelanded, and just die on the spot. Could certainly happen. Oh, yeah, cool. I spelled it wrong, but the bot is so smart I figured it out anyway. Alright, so clearly could decay this Delver. Baleful Strix is the best card by a million miles, though. I do want a cantrip to draw another land in case I get Wastelanded, but if this gets Dazed, that's kind of brutal. But our opponent gets set back a lot, while we also have a Wasteland and a Decay and an Ancestral on Suspend, so I think if this gets Dazed, it's still fine. Or just resolves, and it's pretty impossible to lose. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'm so bad at this. Obviously should have updated my thing, but didn't. Failed miserably. Just mono head shakes. Oh, Fork Bolt. Oh, Nimble Mongoose. I see. We needed that Strix. Ooh, Tarmogoyf. That's large. That is large. We do still have emotes. Well... maybe I should have just decayed this turn, but get rewarded. So lucky. So I kind of want to keep a land in play for when my Ancestral comes off this turn, but I also don't want my opponent to play Tarmogoyf. Yeah, I feel like I need to play some Kiki Chord later. I added some Lotus Cobras. The deck might be even better now. Shardless is typically really good against Rug. I mean, Shardless is one of those decks where the game ones are, you know, like 40% or whatever, and the post-board games are always 60%. Yeah, Goyf's a 5/6. Yeah, Cobra is gas. It doesn't have as much synergy with the rest of the deck, because the Bell Ringers are actually just, like, good on their own. Because you have, like, Knights and Mana Creatures and whatnot, Fauna Shamans. It's a potty. All the other groups are invited. Except for my opponents. Those ones are not invited. Yeah, Twin is great. The grind part of the deck... the grind part of Twin is the best part of the deck. That's how you win most of your games. Unless you're playing against another unfair deck. Oh no, not double lightning bolts. Yeah, I also bought some Sovereigns of Lost Alara. Might try and make that happen too. Kind of just want to tarp it and attack my opponent, but I feel like I could potentially lose the game that way. Okie doke. Guess I'll try and draw some more cards. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to brag. Obviously, the sovereigns were not very expensive. All right, opponent's Hellbent. We can hit him for 5 now. We have a blocker. Yeah, instead of draw 3, he discarded his hand, which also worked out kind of well, so. So this matchup is just all about board advantage. So you need to keep in your Force of Wills. The only way they really beat you is when they constrict your mana. So you really want to side in a bunch of low casting cost spells. Make sure you're trying to play around Stifle, Daze, and Spell Pierce. But if you can't, you just have to walk into them. So I think I'm only going to keep 1 Deluge. I generally only have 1 Deluge and 2 Lilianas to kill the geese, but I've since added a bunch of this stuff, so it gets a little bit better. And then I have to cut another card. People always tell me to cut Thoughtseize, but I don't like doing that because it's a 1 mana spell. I do need to cut something. Oh, there's not enough blue cards for 4 forces. And I basically only want to draw 1 per game. People make the argument of like, oh, you should have 4 forces because you can just, if you draw 2 and you only have another blue card, you can just pitch the force to force. But I would rather have like force, that blue card, and then something else. Yeah, gotta use your mana every turn. Maybe I'm supposed to just not play this other Deluge. At least on the draw. Like, this card is pretty bad against Spell Pierce and Daze and whatnot. Additional cost, pay life. Just gotta make sure we don't lose to the goose. I'm not cutting Liliana. Liliana kills Nimble Mongoose. Yeah, but Delver is basically the only way they get to run away with the game early. Think Trop is our worst land. Yeah, this hand is great. If I could cherry pick this against Temur Delver every time, I would. Still trying to not get stifled. People don't suspend Ancestral enough. Opponent's not doing anything, just trying to contain our mana, but we already have all these duels. Can't stifle anything. And our opponent shuffled. And submerges our thing. Yeah, there are certainly situations where Disfigure is not good. But they just run away with the game with Delver, and sometimes there's nothing you can do. Like, you only have so many decays. And it takes a lot of the pressure off your decays so you can save those for Tarmogoyfs. That's dead. I'm going to kill that. Eventually. I might just play a Tarmogoyf. Might have lied. Probably just going to force this, though. Nope, I'm killing this thing. I'm not making the same mistake I did last game. That was just silly. Potentially take like 3 extra damage. And I'm just going to kill this thing anyway, so might as well do it now. Can't cast Decay with blue mana. Alright, alright. Flawless victory incoming. I just want him in no hand, no board. Or no permanence. I guess he still has a hand, but... Flawless victory, ah. Lucky. See, all these cheap spells. Just great. Whatever. I don't even cast the Shardless Agent. I have a bunch of removal spells in my deck. 2 Decay, 2 Disfigure, a couple Thought Seizes. I'll probably just hit Ancestral anyway, because that's kind of how I do things. Alright, alright. Brainstorm never fails. Mono Greed. Mono Greed. A lot of reasons not to fetch here. The one that I'm mostly worried about is Submerge. The second one is if my opponent draws and plays a Goyf, then at least I have Disfigure for it. I don't think that'll even matter, though. Because they should be dead. Unless this still gets submerged. Don't really want to get my Tar Pit bolted. I'll just attack with these and ding him. Aha! So smart. Also pretty stupid, but kind of smart. Alright, I guess we can play some Kiki chords since I inadvertently advertised it. So, we changed some stuff. I have some Cobras in here. Got some Domries in the board. Those seem like they could be pretty sweet. The sub icon is a shield because there are generally a lot of mods and they all have swords and, you know, the people need to defend themselves. Polsky, think about it a little bit, but know that a lot of stuff might change. Solar Eclipse, I must have missed your question. Oh, Lighthouse versus Cavern. I generally like the Cavern in Grixis. I want to play like 2 Lighthouses in Blue-Red Twin, though. I think with Grixis, you're more worried about just like resolving a Tasigur in mirror matches. And you have enough things to grind them. I don't know. I assume I have a bunch of mods in here. They're just not talking. Real deck? I'm guessing not. I'm hoping not. Christopher Larson is awesome. He was one of the Merfolk players in top 8. But as far as their specific decks, I don't know. I have no idea. Our opponent is very good. Japanese player generally plays blue-white control. This hand kind of stinks. Kind of stinks. Not sure what hand or what deck this hand ever beats. Yeah, this hand is also pretty bad, but let's do have a Fauna Shaman. Oh, look, blue-white. So weird. These Domries better be good. Oh, yeah. This is bell ringing time. How does our opponent deal? Guess he deals by playing Wall of Omens. Yeah, 4 verdict. Well, that's why we have these Domries, right? I haven't talked to Gadiel in a while. I think we're gonna chord for a Fauna Shaman. I feel like I should wait until I have an actual threat, though. So if I just chord, if I cast chord and it just gets cryptic or whatever, we're just stupid. But I guess he still gets to keep a mana open. So the biggest thing that he would have to worry about is Kiki, and if he just has a path, then it's not even really a big deal. Yeah, I don't think so, Slug. JB played Suntines before. This is just, like, he normally plays just, like, mostly normal-ish blue-white control. There's no, like, lone missionaries in here. His draw is certainly quite good against us, because we have unplayable magic cards. I did see the new Twister. Might be good modern. Puppy, you jumped down. You have no right to be upset when you can't come up here now. See, normal blue-white control. Guess I'm not dead, but I'm pretty dead. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Why'd you lose the Jund? I don't understand. I think we can cut the Ghost Quarter. Probably cut some combo pieces a little bit. And probably a Mana Accelerator, but I think our best draws are going to involve like turn 2 Domri. So maybe the Mana Accelerator is Cobra. Wonder if Pride Mage is any good. Can't remember off the top of my head my opponent having anything weird. We're in between rounds for the Shardless. Just playing a quick heads-up queue. Yeah, I'll do Pride Mage instead of Cobra. I could have... like, Rest in Peace would be pretty annoying against Knight and Voice, so... I don't know if our opponent knows exactly what we're doing, but we played a Bellringer, so... well, this hand stinks too. No, he doesn't play Shackles. He had a Glacial Fortress. Alright, turn 3 Lark. Good against sweepers, bad against everything else. This is our first time playing since I made changes. I like them all in theory. So we'll see how that goes. I have already made it big, and I've already forgotten about my family. Yeah, Domri's great. I mean, if I were playing my opponent's deck, I would definitely not want to play against a Domri. Alright, Revelark resolve one time. Should we just go all in? Should we get the Arbor? Our hand is pretty bad. Don't know how we're winning otherwise. We're waiting on Legacy. We're in between rounds. Currently 2-0. Ooh. Wow. No mana leak. No path. Gives us insurance against sweepers. Which is basically what we're looking for. Alright, no sweeper. Just no nothing. Only cryptic. Resto? Alright. Oh no, this is going to be so bad. It's going to block my Revel Arc and then kill all my stuff. Only 3 toughness, Revel Arc. You're the worst. It's the actual worst. We blew it. We blew it. Wrath of Wrath, you forgot Tybalt. And I assume you mean 3 mana or less Planeswalkers. It's not a 4 for 1. It's like a 20 for 1. Because he's going to kill all my permanents because I'm going to concede. Or that's going to happen. Weird. Yeah, people complain. It's weird. There's some crazy stuff. Reserving Tybalt for its own category is smart. Yeah, Magus. Yeah. Alright. Maybe we want some Rending Volleys. I don't know. Wall of Roots is better with Chord, but the deck used to play 2 Scrub Rangers, and it has a lot of Bell Ringers, so actual mana-producing things are a little bit better. Wall of Roots is definitely good. That was one of the initial cards I was like, man, maybe that should be in this deck, but I've liked the things that just tap for mana instead. I'm trying Lotus Cobra, but I don't think it'll be great. Cobra might just be a better wall if you're not interested in blocking too. The Fixed Twister is probably good in Modern. I don't think it'll be very good in Standard. Oh, Bant Shitty Stuff is a completely different deck. Yeah, Hokori's a thing. Magus is also a thing. I don't know. Ooh. Now we're going off. Voice is better in grindy games, and this deck doesn't put a lot of cards in its graveyard, so Tarmogoyf's not very good. Might need to save this for Dryad Arbor. Detention Sphere? Get out of here. Good thing we have that Pride Mage. Oh, we're Kiki Jiki flooded. Threads? Jeez. So hateful. Rar. Look, we're in between rounds, alright? We gotta do what we gotta do to kill time. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect a deck with mostly non-basics to have multiple Maguses. This is just a classic game of Modern. Blue-Eye Control against Kiki Cord. What, what don't you understand? Vendilion. Probably gonna take my Cord because you're a jerk. What happened? What happened? Oh, so he has a path. Alright, I get it. We won round 2. Surely we can do something sweet with this. Can we Cord for Bell Ringer and then Cord for Scrib Ranger in response? So if we make a bird that's 3, 6, Bell Ringer comes in, Trigger on. Yeah, Trigger on, I guess he would path the Kiki Jiki. And if I Cord for Magus, he'll just path that. Yeah, I'm still playing Legacy. I'm just in between rounds. If I Cord Magus, he just floats a white and paths it. He has path to exile. Cord for Bellringer also doesn't win. Alright, we gotta figure out what we can actually do here. I'm sure there's something. I think I just get the Cord with 2 mana open, though. It's not very good. I'm not going to change my stream title when I'm in between rounds. I end up playing a lot of heads-up queues. It just takes way too much time to keep changing it. He would float the mana. I don't see why he wouldn't float when I beat him with Magus the last game. Yeah, get voice if he floats is reasonable. If my opponent floats and I get Bellringer, I don't really like my spot there. I think I would rather get Voice or Pride Mage. I tapped wrong. I should have tapped that bird. Silly. Whoa, did he not float? Big mistake. I tapped the wrong bird, but whatever. Yeah, that was weird. It was a strange turn of events. Deck is too strong. Too strong. Still waiting on 2 matches. All right. What happened here? Why? Okay. All right. I'm going to take a quick break here and throw up a commercial. And hopefully when I'm back in 2 minutes here, we'll have some more Legacy action. So I will be right back. Well, we're down to 1 match. That's good. Things are twice as good as they were before. Come here, pup. Yeah, you can rev-lock the entire combo, which, granted, has not happened to me, but is definitely possible. Hooray, Taco Bell, said no one ever. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess if he thought I was just gonna get the combo, then floating is bad, right? Because then I just go to combat and he has to path and then he just dies. Oh, so that's probably why. Because if he floats, I just get Bellringer and go to combat. And then he just loses. So yeah, he was dead no matter what. Yeah, Thali's the worst. Oh, it was the ad, yeah. I don't know, I can't see the ad. I don't know what everyone else ends up seeing. I'm glad you don't have ad blocker, though. Yeah, Cubs fan, you're part of the problem. Yeah, it does make it weird that he left the cord. Look, I'm still learning. That was like my seventh or eighth match with the deck, and this is not in my wheelhouse. At all. I think I can tune this deck reasonably well, but playing it is another story. So I think overall Trinisphere is probably going to be better than this card, but I want to at least put this card into play once and see what happens. And then at that point we can move on, I think. The Cobras were a Noble Hierarch and something else. The second Scrib Ranger, I guess is what I cut. Can't spell. There we go. Let's build a different deck. Went through the trouble of buying a bunch of cards. There it is. There it is. Oh, Dramoka's Command, sure. Maybe ley lines are good. Spell Skites are almost certainly good. I missed Hollowed Fountain somewhere. There it is. Some Misties in here somewhere too. There they are. Excellent. It's coming along nicely. Honored Hierarch seems sweet. The fact that you can't go from 1 to 3 is kind of bad, and it's a pretty bad top deck, so I don't know. Could see some bad charms. Should probably try one band charm. Do we want any remands or anything? Remand, maybe just Spell Pierce is better. Yeah, Cavernous Souls would be sweet. I don't know. It gives it trample, right? Like, I don't think you really need Den Protector. Four birds is aggressive. This deck always played like infinite mana accelerators. I want to go from 1 to 3. That's the dream. What's up, Coach? I agree that main deck Spellskite is probably fine. Can also see like Voice being good. Banjo Castle is probably reasonable. Yeah, Pride Mage. I actually own 5 repeals. I moved one off the other day. Stubborn Denial is interesting. I really don't have that many things to turn it on, though. I could see maybe playing Tarmogoyf in Stubborn Denial. Thanks, Ermac. I appreciate that. No, I don't have a WotC account. I did when I was working there, but at the time we could not play tournaments. This deck didn't really play Vengevine. Yeah, Kyora's sweet. Definitely want a Canopy. Yeah, there was Chapin's next level Bant deck that Kibler won like 2 GPs with. That had Vengevines. That wasn't Mythic, though. I guess we want Stony Silence. That makes sense. Just makes sense. Don't think we want a Township or anything. Do you want a Sajiri Step probably in the sideboard? Steel of the Godhead is what you're thinking? Yeah. Yeah, I'm qualified for the next 2 Pro Tours. I didn't design anything. I just developed. Most of the cards that I like that I developed are things that were kind of busted that I made not so busted. Yeah, I should probably have a Colonnade. This deck could use a Jace the Mind Sculptor, though. There's the step. Alright. So, not too many slots to work with. Probably want a 24th land. We have 7 fetchable lands right now. Awesome, Goose. I will see you there. I was not, you know, responsible for fixing Treasure Cruise, I guess, but we mainly focused on standard and limited. And I think Cruise is pretty reasonable in both those formats. The problem with company is that there's not too many things I want to hit. Like, most of the time I'm just going to hit more mana dorks, which is not going to really help me if I'm already at 4 mana. Finest Hour. So, add a Colonnade and another main deck card. Probably just try a Remand or something. Boom. Mythic. Oh, yeah, I might want Pride Mage. Yeah, get this Remand out of here. Now we have to cut one. Or not. Either way. There's only 2 ETB tap lands. It's not a ton. Yeah, I have 1 Wildwood and 1 Colonnade. I guess Arbor kind of ETB's tapped. It does not. You don't get to annihilate the first turn. I think I just want to build the deck the way it used to be, and then maybe if stuff like this does not work, then we can go back to, you know, trying stuff like Arcanum Wings. Like, the Arcanum Wings deck is probably much different, right? I remember AJ posted a list at some point. See if Lord Google can find this for us. Gigantiform. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, we can play Magic now. I'm kind of off it. 61 cards. Grixis Control. Alright. So keep, turn 1 Tar Pit, probably turn 2 Brainstorm. Cobra's ramping into our 6s. I mean, I could buy the 4th Geist. Yeah, I think that's what the Arcanum Wings deck was. It was straight blue-white. I don't remember the specifics, though. I'll ask AJ about it at some point, maybe. Oh, look at you. Yes. This is it. This deck is gas. I need more Eldrazi conscriptions. No, he's not playing Grixis. Puppy. Be reasonable. James Wynn, you are the best. What are we doing with our Grixis standard deck? David, that's pretty great. I think the Kiki Cord deck is solidly tier 2. And Modern has, you know, hundreds of tier 2 decks. It's just not as powerful as like Jund or Twin or, you know, any of that stuff. Alright, how greedy do we want to be? We can just play the second Tarmogoyf and be fine. If we get wasted, it's kind of awkward. I think we just want to make sure we get to develop our board a little bit. Nah, Dark Ritual, that's not really what this deck is about. Like, you can do that, and it's cool, but you don't have to. I would say, like, 98% of the time I use Brainstorm just as a normal Brainstorm. Alright, should we try and force through this Deluge? Alternatively, we could just cast Decay. That's probably also fine. Make our Goyfs enormous. Ginormous, even. I don't think you need the Thopter Foundry stuff. I think, like, a Sultai Thopter Foundry deck is fine on its own, but you don't necessarily need all the Shardless stuff going on also. Tier 1 for Modern is probably like Twin and Grixis. Those are kind of all smashed together. And yeah, like Jund, Amulet, Affinity and Burn are close. I always forget a deck in here somewhere. My deck is tier 1. Yeah, oh yeah. Definitely tier 1. So I don't really know my opponent's second color. The thing said he was Grixis, the bot. Said he was Grixis Control, though. But he had Probe, which leads me to believe that he has Young Pyromancer, because most of the Temur Delver decks don't play Probe anymore. I think Collected Company is 1-5. 1-5, tier 2. Yeah, Shardless Bant is kind of interesting, but I don't think it does anything better than this deck, really. I think the black cards are a little too good. Like, white doesn't really help you that much. It doesn't fix any of your bad matchups. And Tarmogoyf is ultimately pretty much a better version of the Thopter Foundry stuff anyway, because, like, yeah, you have this inevitability with the Thopter Foundry stuff, but what you want is a thing that matters early. You don't want this thing that, like, you know, if you make it till turn 7, then it wins you the game. Because if you get to turn 7, you're probably winning anyway, even if you just have a Tarmogoyf. Yeah, I don't think he's Control. It just depends on what type of Delver he actually is. Either way, I think these Disfigures can come in. Spellbomb is probably good. Pulse is probably bad. And then it's like how many Betrayals we bring in if we think he's playing Pyromancer and maybe True Name. But if he ends up being Temur Delver and we bring in a bunch of Betrayals, we look kind of silly. So I like these 3. Definitely cutting Jaces. And then some of these Betrayals. Like, we basically just have to hedge. I don't want to bring in too many expensive cards, though. Think we hedge with 1 Betrayal, and that's it. And then we just have to find 3 cards to cut, which is a lot. If we think he's Grixis, then we don't really want the Forces. Unless he has a lot of mana denial. Then we're going to need a 0 mana spell. Black-white tokens isn't bad. I mean, I think it's like a tier 2 deck, but ultimately, me saying something is tier 2 is kind of irrelevant. Well, I hope that's sideboarded. I generally cut Force in grindy matchups. Yeah, see, our opponent's probably just Teamer, and now we're in a bad spot, maybe. Yeah, I was definitely at 0. That is correct. So, don't really care about Pyroblast, and don't really care about Bolt. I mean, if we didn't get to sideboard, it's not the worst thing. It might actually be better, because then it meant that we didn't bring in, like, Knight of Soul's Betrayal or side out Force of Will. Yeah, I don't have any basics, and I would not get Swamp here anyway, because I don't want to end up with, like, Swamp and Forest. That would just not be very helpful. No Stifle. Nice. Kind of want to get Trops. Then if we get wasted, then we still have blue with these Brainstorms. And he's going to probably Pyro one of them. Are you saying weak matchups for Shardless? Guess I should probably just take the 1 here. So he plays a Goyf, I'm going to want to decay that, and then I should have more time to Liliana away the Delver than the Tarmogoyf, but opponent has a Wasteland, so that's pretty bad for me. I like the Miracles matchup. It's one of the reasons to play the deck. Yeah, James is on point. Okay, so he's the 4-color one. Alright, so hand is Bolt, Pyro, X. So I guess we just kill the Delver since our opponent currently does not have black mana. So if we Brainstorm now, it gets Pyroed. So there's probably no reason to do that. Makes him use his mana on his turn. So these are the games where I really want to play 23 land. Even just having an extra Wasteland would be nice. Be able to start casting some Tarmogoyfs. So, Bolt Pyro X still. Alright, alright. Doing it. Teamer something something. You should definitely go after my graveyard here. Good call, good call. Alright, this game is going to be super close. I'm probably going to end up losing. Opponent still has a bolt, so if Delver flips, I'm at 2. And then we are a little bit short of killing him with Tar Pit if we draw land. And then if we just play Liliana, we're still short. So if we draw a Wasteland, maybe that would help. Or if this Delver doesn't flip. And if Delver doesn't flip and we draw like Deluge, that'd be good too. You should not play that Bant deck. Ancient Grudge. I like it. Gotta kill those Baleful Strixes. I probably won't board it in, but can respect it. Not sure on the Kiki Chord. Maybe, like, I'm gonna be streaming the next 2 days. And yeah, if we have time in between rounds, certainly. Alright, so I think we have to brainstorm. Well, yeah, we have to brainstorm, because if we Shardless into a removal spell, we're still dead. So what am I trying to brainstorm into, though? Force of Will on the Bolt. That puts me to 6. Double Deathrite. So I want Force of Will Decay. That's not even close. Oh, Disfigure Decay? Yeah, that would work too. I don't know if we got the sideboard, though. I'm pretty sure we didn't. Badlands. Whew. I didn't look too closely at that D&T deck, but I do have a green-white Hate Bears deck that my friend sent me that I want to try. Oh, we did get to sideboard. Look at that. So my opponent's threats are all kind of bad. So I don't really want the forces. I guess I could see keeping one in. Yeah, I guess we just keep the same config. I think we could do some stuff with Time Twister in Modern. Brett, our opponent had a Bolt in his hand. So Liliana didn't kill him anyway. So I think we want to go Deathrite into double Thoughtseize and possibly Wasteland. Yeah, the in the eyes have not come out to play yet, but I'm pretty excited. Our opponent knows all our secrets. Generally, these decks have 4 Pyromancers and like 2 True Names, so I like Nine Souls Betrayal, but I like the Deluges a little bit better, so I kept in all those. Yep, the secret of how bad my hand is. This is definitely not regular Canadian Threshold. He's 4 colors and has a Deathrite. Alright, Ponder's good for us. Wasteland can buy us a little time. Hopefully draw into some sweet cards. I don't know. Maybe sometime this week. With the Hate Bears. Opponent has a lot of business. A lot of business. For whatever reason, my Y key just stops working every once in a while. So, did our opponent keep? That is pertinent information. Not to shuffle. Alright. So, do we want to just Thoughtseize away threats, or do we want to Thoughtseize away that Brainstorm? Yeah, I do have the tool. You're right. I can just do this. That's smarter. I like crossing them off as I go, though. Oh, I'm definitely wasting them this turn, and I'm almost certainly Thoughtseizing him this turn. I guess if I take Delver and Brainstorm, even if he kept a land on top with Ponder, he'll have Young Pyromancer, but then not a ton to do. Like, Pyroblast and Stifle are really reactive, so he'll be able to Bolt Deathrite, you know, like 4 turns from now or whatever. So, I like that. Someone told me about the tool, and then I downloaded it. Or maybe I had it already. I don't know. Someone told me to use it, and it's been great. Yeah, see, now I want to cross stuff off. So, I'm glad I wrote it down. And he just bolts my thing right away. That's good for me, too. And we drew a Decay, so this is working out well. Yeah, that's a reasonable point. That could have been a what's the play. I should have screenshotted that. I'll have to go back and do that. Because I've been taking screenshots of random board states. I'll probably do an article on them eventually. Yeah, but okay, so I cross it off, right? And it just looks so bad. Eh. 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 Oh, he had another brainstorm. See, compare these two. I like the list. I'm old school, though. I carry around a notebook. I know I could write deck lists on my phone and stuff, but I just like physically writing it down. Ew. Yeah, I have to get Notepad++. I'm going to do that right now, actually. While I think about whether or not I'm going to cast Shardless Agent. I'm 31. That's pretty close. Ooh, I like tabs. I think I'm just casting this agent because, you know. Oh, I can't find it. Alright, I'll do this later. I wrote it down a while ago. Come on, Tarmogoyf. We'll also accept Ancestral Recall. Yeah, I mean, I still think about it. I always end up casting it, but whatever. Turbo Moose, you are the best. Wait, can I get this on my phone or no? Does it matter? Oh no, not my land. Kind of want to just start taking Liliana up. Oh, that's probably why I couldn't find it on my phone then. Shardless Agent never whiffs, just like Brainstorm. So the issue is that if I take up Liliana, I'm probably discarding Misty. I mean, I could certainly discard the other Tar Pit, but I think I'm discarding Misty. No, I should discard Tar Pit, because then next turn I can play 2 spells. Yeah. Let's do this. Brainstorm never whiffs. Don't lie. Oh, look, we successfully navigated around a stifle. That's so surprising. Oh no, not a Delver. How do we ever beat that? Go, Robot Owl. Ooh, Tarmogoyf. Ooh. Deck's great. I'm medium. Shardless Agent's great. Why would I ever play anything else? This deck is too awesome. My opponent with all their silly 1-mana spells. Even if my opponent has a deluge or something, I don't think it matters. Well, Chrome is not letting me download this notepad thingy. I'll figure it out later. I'm intrigued, though. Yeah, what's wrong with Cascade? Ain't nothing wrong. So we also built this bad Shardless deck that other people have been playing. This one has 4 Force Wills. And also these Meddling Mages. It's Sylvan. Ugh. Ugh. So gross. Oh, we have to finish this deck. I need a Xenagos. Burn is no picnic, and the fast combo decks can get you. And then there's some stuff like Death and Taxes that is kind of difficult, but if you know what you're doing and you mulligan pretty well, should be fine. Opponent or our bot just doesn't have any Xenagoses? What is this? What is this? I would have Xenagos main if I wasn't playing Frontier Siege. I like Xenagos. The Reveler! There he is. Oh no, what happened? Constructed 1450. Ain't nothing wrong with devotion. Nothing wrong. Yeah, I planned on fixing this courser thing, but obviously did not. Yeah, it's basically the nut draw. You start at 1600. So yeah, it's pretty low. Ultimately doesn't mean much though. Is this draw good? So I could just smash this thing with the Tarka, or I could Genesis Hydra into a Whisperwood. All wonderful options. What should we do? Smash them? I like smashing them. Inception Van Balen. Yeah, people can get to 1900. It's really tough to sustain that, though. I'm just going for maximum value. Maximum value. 10. We have 11 mana. Oh, we're mana short. How did this happen? Nope, that was the wrong one. We were supposed to get Whisperwood, but whatever. Definitely did not want to get another Genesis Hydra. Now if he kills my Atarka and then Cruxes, this would be pretty awkward. This game would be much easier if I had a Whisperwood. I did send him a message. Yeah, Caryatid. This deck is great. So what do we board against Jund nonsense? Hornet Queens are probably not very good. Genesis Hydras would be better if I knew how to click on things. We'll just go up to 61. Already playing like trash, so might as well. It's both, actually. An animal scarf. Puppy scarf. Surely nothing can go wrong with this hand. We're saving that temple for later. Oh yeah, we're ready. We have all the mana to naturally cast all of our sweet spells. This hand is great. It's basically the same as the last hand, except I have 4 more lands instead of 4 big things. See, look at this Frontier Siege just doing work. Casting that Caryatid for free. I think we're supposed to play the Foothills in case we draw Courser. No, Frontier Siege is just a more consistent ramp. Like, you can go Caryatid into Frontier Siege into a Tarka or Hornet Queen. And Frontier Siege is, like, the Abzan and control decks are trying to fight you with sweepers, and this way you get to play 4 Genesis Hydras and have it always be good. Puppy, were you licking your nose? I couldn't even see. I don't know. This is the first game, or first match I played with this. It felt like Frontier Siege would probably be pretty good, though. Jam more high-end stuff. Just do the biggest thing, then your opponent can't win. What's the status on this thing? We got 1 match left. Leger taking forever. Oh no. Don't kill all my dorks. How am I supposed to win? Xenagos doesn't ramp you from 4 to 7 every single time. Xenagos is also pretty weak to Den Protector, but I do like Xenagos. I mean, it's still in my 75. I'm just trying the sieges. I do have 3 cats and only 1 dog, so I'm doing something wrong. This draw is shaped up rather nicely. The thing on my shoulder is an Ewok. Cat? This is not a cat. Warden of the First Tree. Okay. That's something else. Ooh, Courser. I don't want another Courser. Atarka is acceptable. Probably just die to this Warden, though. Maybe the Atark is actually not good. The dog is basically a cat. I think tramples, too? How am I supposed to beat this? Yep, no outs. Nothing. No Ugin. Sided out my Hornet-Queens, although he would just trample over that anyway. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. The mana thing for Frontier Siege is kind of annoying. Curious as to why he did not do that on his turn, but I'm over it. Well, I need another black. There we go. Alright, I'll smush your morph. Smushy, smushy. Should probably just play another game so I have time for the actual legacy. I don't have to double queue. I don't know. Why does anyone do anything? Who knows? Genesis Hydra for 1,000,000. Man, I didn't even hit a Tarka. Maybe deck should have an Ugin. Outpost Siege might not be good. If he has more threats. Oh, whatever. Whatever. Beautiful. Aside from these mismatching coursers, it is beautiful. Probably don't need another one of those. Need is a strong word. I mean, Frontier Siege plus Ugin is a combo. It ramps you out to your Ugin, and then you blow everything up, and it doesn't really matter. Like, Ugin blows up a ton of stuff in this deck already anyway. Alright, fine. Play my stupid Outpost Siege. It's been a while. I have to read it. Cons. Got it. Got it. Oh, look at us. Vegetation is fine. It doesn't add 4 mana, though. Okay. Okay. I don't really want that siege. Could be dual wielding sieges. Yeah, Courser and Outpost Siege are kind of funny together. I've never had these two in play at the same time before. What did my opponent get? Ooh, Kolagon's Command. Sweet, sweet. I don't know, this is pretty exciting. Well, I broke even on the fetch, so it definitely didn't spew a life. And it gets a bad card off the top of my deck. It makes me more likely to hit a threat for next turn. Yeah, Gordon, sounds like you just go off. Oh, what's up? Yeah, the forest was exiled. The Heath was on top. I played the one off the top of my deck. I guess I'll take a free Nykthos. This game has been pretty funny. Burnt Ramen. I think I've played this person before. Omnitel. Alright, we should probably put something into play off this Genesis Hydra. The dog is a Pekingese Poodle. I think we want Whisperwood. Alright, way too much is going on here. Well, this hand's kind of bad. Still keeping. Nah, she's comfy. She loves it. Any threat ever, please. No cantrip on turn 1 is kind of weird. Could be Flusterstorming. Also known as a Peekapoo. Force Probe, Cunning Wish. This hand, I'm no expert, but this hand seems not great. I think I'm supposed to take this Force.
Meanwhile, back in Standard, no one is killing anyone else. Mick Sater. What happens if I attack with things? Oh, drew a preordain. So good. Yeah, Pokemon's great. Getting back Crocs, okay. Perilous Vault. I cannot beat a Perilous Vault. My opponent and I are both double queuing. Alright. Let's make some manas. Oh, did I manifest this and not morph it? Whatever. Whatever. Oh no, it's still on the stack. Yeah. Perhaps my opponent did not think that through. Oh, lordy. Lordy, lordy. Oh, he conceded. Now we can play Legacy. Deathrite. And Liliana. I think that's what we want. Well, now we have 2 Force of Wills. I think we just get rid of these lands. Really? You like the Onslaught Islands? Man, people really like this Diabolic Tutor card. Ugh. Alright, puppy. Tag, you're out. Nice. 2 clocks. 2 clocks, 2 forces. See, Brainstorm never fails. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Oh. Oh dear. Alright. Need to go back a little bit. One on top, one on bottom. Otherwise has Flooded Strand, Emrakul, Cunning Wish. I think I'm supposed to force this. Seeing as how Brainstorm never fails, I think we have to force that. Our opponent's hand is just too bad. There's too much crap. The Time Twister Final Fortune is sweet. I don't know about this Diabolic Tutor. Seems like this thing is not going to work out. Can't wait for the post-board games. It's going to be so fun. Yeah, Origins looks pretty good. I am excited. Oh, is our opponent going to try and put in an Emrakul? Main phase Cunning Wish. Okay. For a red Elemental Blast. So, does this mean I'm supposed to put Jace in play and Brainstorm, and then he can't put in Emrakul? And I just have to hope to find a blue card? If that's the case, should I thin a land out of my deck before I Brainstorm? Because I'm probably not going to be able to shuffle next turn and then get another untap step, so I think shuffling now is probably right. We're getting the land out right now. Blue card. That's step one. Alright. Alright, alright. We're not going to have enough cards to do all that. I was thinking if he show and telled, I put in a land. After he rebbed my force, then I could cast Brainstorm. But I'm not going to have enough cards to actually find anything of consequence. Yeah, I don't know. I play on instinct way more. Like, my subconscious knows mostly what the math is. Like, also, this situation wasn't really about math, right? It was just like, how likely is this fetch going to help me? And the answer is not very, so. Alright, so our opponent has Reb, Emrakul, and potentially a Cunning Wish, if that wish was a second wish. Guess making him use the Reb next turn is better. Got a little red in me. Gonna get a beverage while our opponent figures out how to kill us. Let's go with cherry Dr. Pepper. Yeah. Let me close this. My subconscious is smarter than my conscience, so, or conscious. Basically, if my gut is telling me to do something, I should probably listen to it, because it only speaks up when it actually matters. So it's like, I'll be sitting here thinking of something, and I'll be trying to run through, like, the permeations of, like, different things that could happen, right? And there's something telling me that, like, moron, just cast Jace. You know, just, like, do this. You know you have to do this. Yeah, I got some cherry DP. So, does forcing this actually do anything? I feel like I just let this go, right? This just doesn't really matter. There are other Sultai decks. There's like Sultai Delver, right? I do play Standard. Not today, although we played one match in between rounds. It generally varies on the day. My schedule is below if you want to check that out. Oh, wow. The old Quicken Spike. Well, let's see if this works. Yeah, you're welcome. Aw. I was wondering if my opponent was going to have something like that. Like Spell Piercer, Flusterstorm. Maybe I should have not attacked with the Tar Pit. Oh, it just has Emrakul, though. We are at 14. Maybe I should not have pitched the Strix. Alright, alright. Perfect, perfect. Had it the whole time. See, Brainstorm never fails. Never. Oh, you know, just the casual. Pick you apart. for a little chaos. So our opponent can have like defense grid or something. It's generally what they have. They don't normally have leyline. Yeah, that was something else. I think we just got a Tarmogoyf. Five Planeswalkers to answer Emrakul. Yeah, Show and Tell is 3-0 currently. Omnitel is one of the best decks. Guess I'm glad we kept the Brainstorm instead of the Strix. Strix could not have saved us there. Well, I guess maybe he forces it, maybe he doesn't. But if he forces it, we're definitely dead. Oh no, because we have Tar Pit. Oh, but we didn't have enough mana. Okay, I see what's going on. I get it now. Opponent mulligan. Our hand is like really good, but not very good for this matchup. I think this is okay though. Europe is far. Ladorb, that's awesome. That sounds sweet. I'm not decided on Chicago. I'm leaning towards no. Oh, yeah, I can put the Strix in. You're right. I don't know. I thought after all that stuff, he was going to have more than just an Emrakul. But yeah, I could have played around that. I could have done that better. Yes, we want Spellbomb just for dig through time. It's also just like a cheap cantrip that finds us our more powerful cards, like the Force of Wills, the Hymns, the In the Eye of Chaos. I don't think Black Leyline is good enough for Legacy. There aren't enough decks that use their graveyard in a super hard way. It's normally just like a light touch of some graveyard stuff, so Nile Spellbomb is better for that stuff. Because you're not giving up a card to just exile their graveyard. Well, mostly useless wasteland. I think we just jam Liliana. Discard wasteland. If it resolves. What's going on here? A little impulse in response. Yeah, love it. Now his Firemind's Foresight has so much less value. This deck doesn't typically play Daze. Guess I'm not discarding Wasteland now. This is not good for me. Definitely not good for me. Oh, we died. I think we died. So we got what? Wish and a Flusterstorm. All right. Oh, he's just Emrakuling me? That makes sense. So we kept this hand that was good against most decks, but certainly not good against this deck. So we need to mulligan a little more aggressively. Need to draw good cards. But we can do that by mulliganing, instead of making poor decisions. I don't know, the enchant worlds are like the original new legend rule, right? They enter the battlefield at the same time. They're both put in their owner's graveyards. That is weird. Doesn't matter if they're like both yours or one is yours and your opponent's. I could see updating that rule to if they're both yours, then you just choose one. Battle. Let's battle. Alright, hand stinks, but it's better than the last one. I like Modern Masters, I just don't see a point in spewing a bunch of tickets to draft it. I think I did 2 drafts. Then again, I also busted a bunch of packs for fun, so I'm kind of stupid, but it was entertaining at least. It was on stream. Well, it stinks in that I'm not guaranteed anything, right? Like, any hand with an In the Eye of Chaos is probably pretty good, because if our opponent casts Show and Tell, we just put it into play. And unless they have exactly Emrakul, then they're kind of screwed. But even then, if I have a follow-up, if I have a Liliana or something, they can't do anything. I guess unless they Omni. But see, now this is a hand. This is a hand. Plus our opponent, like, probed and doesn't know that it's here, so it's even better. Dear God, that's a bunch of crap. See, Brainstorm fails. I bought these Wastelands for 72. Like 71 for one and 72 for the rest. And this was last night. I traded out my Tempest ones because they're a little, or not, yeah, the original Tempest ones, because they're a little more expensive, and I wanted to buy 4, and I didn't want to pay like 90 for original Tempest. So yeah, now I have 4 of these Wastelands. I was going to play Temur Delver at some point. Tempest Remastered was like all about grizzly bears and just killing people. So I don't really want to show my opponent this Wasteland. And I'm going to play Tarmogoyf and Spellbomb on his upkeep, probably. Definitely not every draft ever. What about Rise of the Eldrazi? James, you're the worst. Get out of here, Harry. Stop stealing my tech that other people gave me. Yeah, not a lot of my games came down to, like, Rolling Thunder or Capsize. Yeah, Triple Innistrad was great. Oh, come on. Who deleted Harry's message? If you're going to be a mod, you have to know when I'm being facetious. Alright, time to see what happens when our opponent tries to kill us. We're doing it! Wait, what? Does this just not work? Or is this a Moto thing? Oh, yeah. Sorcery. Never mind. Oh, no! Alright, our thing sucks. It's no good. We want Trinisphere. Get these out of here. Bring me my Trinispheres back. This is definitely one of those show me your combo moments. Plan worked beautifully. It was great. Alright, well. Harry, you go ahead and play those In the Eye of Chaoses if you want. That's cool. I'm going to go ahead and cut these right now. I sold my Trinispheres because I'm stupid. There we go. All is right with the world. Is that highlight worthy? Pretty sure it is. Oh, come on. They only have 2 Emeralds. Get out of here. Well, they only cost 4 cents. The 60 I spent at Star City was probably not coming back. Oh, someone actually gave you a timeout too? Come on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Children. Children. It says I unmodded Show, but he still has a sword. I don't like it. Alright, what are we doing with our lives? It's 1:25 p.m.